Get the old coffee cup out. Look at the old microphone. There you go, 357. 357. Plug in the mic. I love how people say, I love guys that are like, headphone alert. I guess, I'm sorry, I don't have perfect audio on my show. But I love the guys that are like, headphone alert at this time. What kind of men do we have in this country now? I mean, you have guys that in World War II, they used to drag artillery. I mean, you think it's like D-Day and sitting on a battleship that's bombarding the coast of France for 2 weeks before you're landing. What must you have thought in your head? I'm going into hell. I'm going into the bowels of hell. And then you hop into this boat and German machine guns are firing at you. The door comes down. You got to run out onto the beach. Bodies all over the place. You must be thinking to yourself, what are you thinking at that point? And I got some dork over here. Headphone alert. Oh my God, I just want to grab people and shake them. Oh, Big Red 1000, you're bullying. You're bullying him. I got news for you. I got news for you right now. We've lost one of America's greatest institutions. Bullying. I tell you right now, I gotta get this call. I gotta get the mic on, number one. I learned my two most value. I gotta get this mic on. Hey, Christ Almighty. Hold on a second here. Tell me electrons don't move slower in the cold. Who's going to tell me that one? I friggin' had it. Testing already. Testing. All right. Yeah. Probably the two most valuable lessons I've ever learned in my life. The reason why I'm probably alive today is from, there's two bullying experiences that stick out in my mind. Back in like the 5th grade, elementary school, maybe moving just into middle school, we had this guy named Fred. Fred was a big lummox. His mother, number one, his parents should have been hung in the middle of the town for sending him out of the house with horn-rimmed glasses on. In the 80s! You know those glasses that Paul Pfeiffer wears? They come up to a point like this, like you're some 1960s bikini girl going to the beach. They sent him out with these horn-rimmed glasses. The glasses had these big, thick, like things that go over your ears. Tangs, I don't know what they're called. And they were like smoke. How do you say? They were like these brown, like smoke, almost like a burled walnut, but like smoked finish. Oh my God. This kid would, and his mother used to do his hair like this. Every morning his hair would be wet. I don't know, they took a shower before they came to school or whatever. And his hair would be like this. Parted in the middle and pulled down to the side. Like some... like a 19th... Like somebody from... I don't know. Like a... Who had that haircut? Cousin It? Anyhow, he was like this big lummox kid, and he'd get on the bus, and it was just like, you couldn't get your spitball to the back of his neck fast enough. People would be banging books over his head, grabbing his glasses, chucking his glasses on the floor, the lenses would fly out. And that was back when, remember when it was like as a kid you knew glasses cost $1 million because your mother told you about that? I never wore glasses, but you'd always hear that from somebody that wore glasses. How much do glasses cost? Glasses must have been like $1,000, I don't know, back then. Or even if they were $300, that might as well have been $1,000. It was always like glasses were the most expensive thing. Kick them in the ass. Especially, I don't know if this was like a thing back in elementary school. When you used to pee at the urinal, it was the thing to go and kick somebody in the ass as hard as you could. Anyhow, so I remember it was one of like the first days of summer. I got my Mad magazine tucked under my arm. I'm going to go visit my friend Rex. So as I'm walking to my buddy Rex's house, I see a bunch of my friends in the middle of the street. I go over there, I start talking to them. You know, whatever you knucklehead kids talk about, but probably passing around the Mad magazine. We're probably doing the fold thing in the back of the Mad magazine, showing them all. Anyhow, that was my first copy, by the way, of Mad magazine. It's like I used to carry it wherever I went. It was like American Express for me. Shooting the shit with my buddies. Who comes walking down the block? It's Fred. Now it's probably about two weeks into summertime. You know, we haven't got our picking on Fred fix in a while. So I'm going to be the hot shot. And trust me, I wasn't really like this, but it was kind of out of character for me. But I wanted to be a hot shot, you understand? So I go walking over to Fred. I push Fred. What do you say when you're a kid? What's up, pussy? Well, what are you doing here, pussy? You know, all these things, you know. I'm pushing him, and all of a sudden, Fred goes into, I don't even know how to explain it, a rage. All the picking on that he's ever had in his life just came to this one, like, head, and Fred exploded. And I'll never forget this. We were in the middle of the street, and he grabbed me, and from the middle of the street, I swear this kid was big, man. He was big. I don't even know what I was thinking. But he was such a pushover, so he was like, Jeremy, he hit me with a surprise left. My jaw left hurting. No, so he took me and he threw me into a cyclone fence, like a crow from the road. He threw me, and I went flying into it, like the neighbor's cyclone fence. And then from there, just thank Christ we were on a lawn, because I remember he picked me up, and he did like, I learned very fast that Fred was like a WWE aficionado. Because he picked me up, I swear to God, and he did like a running pile driver on me. And I'll be damned if I didn't get up and I had a concussion. Because I didn't know where the fuck I was. And he picked me up again, and then he did like a body. It was like a body slam or almost like a backbreaker on me. He did like a Bane backbreaker on me, and finally, by the grace of God, the old lady who's in the house with the cyclone fence came out. She goes, "Stop fighting!" And believe it or not, when an older person said something back then, that was it. Everybody split. That old lady saved my life that day. I really think that Fred would have did something. I don't know what he would have. He would have twisted my head off or something. That's the kind of rage he was in. And I think this old lady snapped him out of it. Okay? That kind of stuff can't happen anymore. Imagine watching like a World Star beatdown and some old lady saying, "Stop it!" Okay, there's a fight that's sure to continue. Yeah, so lesson learned that day. Don't fuck with Fred. I think the very next... Oh, and you think any of my buddies would have helped? No, they all crowded around like wolves. Fucking kids, man. Such fucking dirtbags. Thanks, guys. I think the next year I got on the bus, next school season. And I was like, "Hey, Fred, can I give you a shoe shine?" No. And then the other time this was probably around... This had to be junior high. I get off the bus, and in general, I wasn't a picked on kid. I was like that. What do they call that? The Omega. What is that? The Omega Gorilla. What's the Omega Gorilla? The one that gets along with everybody. I get along with jocks, nerds, metalheads, across the board. I was a good kid. I was a good kid. Anyhow, I get off the bus, and we had this kid in the neighborhood who was a pretty known badass, and I never really had a problem with him, but we're all walking as a group back home, as we always do, and he comes up and he knocks the books out of my hand. Oh my God, how annoying. You know how you used to hold your books on the side like this? Number one, for some reason it wasn't cool to have a book bag. Everybody held their books like this. You had a Trapper Keeper, you had a couple. It was stupid. If I could go back to school, I would have a book bag. But it was the cool. If a couple of cool kids were holding their books like this, that's the way you had to do it. Anyhow, but somebody used to come up from behind and just push the books right out of your hands. And naturally, the papers would go all over the place, the fucking dittos. Oh my God, what a nightmare. So I pick them up off the floor. Everybody's laughing. Get my books together, back under the arm. I start walking again. He comes up behind me, pushes the books out of my hands again. Now I'm like, you gotta understand, I got a fuse like a mile long. I wasn't like a short-tempered kid. I pick up my books again. I'm like, I see the whole neighborhood turning on me. I mean, even friends laughing, I pack up my books one more time. He comes up behind me to knock my books over again. I throw my books down. And really just natural instinct took over. And I ran up to him and I punched him right in the head. It was my first experience punching somebody in the... I punched him in the forehead. I mean, is that punching somebody in the face? I always think that's a punch in the face. I didn't know how to punch. I never threw a punch at somebody's head before. And I punched him right in the forehead. Well, let me tell you something right now. Number one, it completely shut the kid down. And I think I even said, I think I even said, because it was a big deal to punch somebody in the face, like that was your fault, I didn't want to do that. I said something like that. And when I tell you, within 30 seconds, this kid started to get a speed knot that looked like a half an egg on his forehead. And I'm not trying to brag here. That's what happened. And it might as well have been a billboard, a big red puffy billboard that said, "Don't fuck with Jesse." Oh, baby, you want to talk about instant respect? And everybody was like, "Oh my God." And like he had this thing on his head and he didn't know what to do, and he was like running home. And they were looking at me. I might as well had a cape on. And I don't know. I don't know. It was just like instant respect. And that carried over for years. For years, I was known as having this like super punch. Just like that. I wasn't a tough kid. I wasn't a fighting kid. I would do anything to avoid a fight. But right there and then, I turned instantly into a badass. Lesson learned there, too. Bullying. Very important. Very important. I highly recommend it. I don't know. What are we talking about here? All right. By the way, I remember the kid came over my house, and he wanted to like be friends after that. What is that phenomenon? I don't understand that. When somebody gets their ass kicked, all of a sudden they want to be friends? That happens. I don't know. If somebody drives me to the point where I want to kick their ass, I don't know. I don't think I want to be friends with them after that. All of a sudden, people used to get into fights and then they were best friends. It's like dogs at a dog park. It's like somebody has to establish dominance. Who the fuck knows? All right. All right, we got a package here. This is a package from my boy Trevor. Trevor's the man. TopLoadedGaming, by the way, that's his channel. We talk we text all the time. I love talking to Trevor. Trevor tells me about his latest video game finds. He's my video game buddy. I don't have any video game buddies. So we talk all the time. I don't know. Trevor sent me a package. He sent us a package before. He's always looking out for the show. Trevor. Look, he sent us an iPad Mini. All right. I gotta say one thing about Apple, man. They know how to package something. I mean, I love when you buy something that's beautifully packaged. Who cares? I know. Oh, baby. Okay, this one I knew about. The other one I don't know about, but I can't see it. So here we go. Wow. This one really sticks in my craw. And I tell you what, I got a love-hate relationship with this game. And here it is. It is the blast processor smoking lightning force. This might be one of the greatest technical achievements for the Sega Genesis as far as shooters are concerned. Oh my God. Number one, what you need to know about Lightning Force. Lightning Force came from Thunder Force, right? I don't know why they changed the name. Anyhow, you had for the Sega Genesis, you had Thunder Force 2, 3, and then, I'm sorry, you had 2, 3, yes. And this is basically Thunder Force 4. But they called it Lightning Force. I don't know why. But here we go. And the original Thunder Force came out in... little do people know, the original Thunder Force came out in 1983, I believe. And it was for Japanese computer? Japanese PC? Kind of like an overhead, free roaming style shooter, which carried over into Thunder Force 2 for the Sega Genesis.
Good luck.
Which had overhead and horizontally scrolling levels. Then Thunder Force 3 had just horizontally scrolling levels. But the Thunder Force series has always been known for, like, you know, serious graphics. I mean, this is a serious spaceship shooter. And when we got to Lightning Force, okay, you know, I hate to admit it, but I've never really, as a TurboGrafx PC Engine guy, I've never been threatened by the Super Nintendo. I always knew the Super Nintendo's limitations when it came to shooters. Okay, so we could put that one aside. But the Sega Genesis, man, oh my God. When I saw Lightning Force, I was devastated. I mean, easily a dozen layers of parallax scrolling. I mean, the boards are gorgeous, and it's just like scrolling all over the place. This is a beautiful piece of moving art. It's kinetic art on your screen. What can you say? Beautiful, like water levels. I mean, just if I'm gonna show you the definitive spaceship shooter on the Sega Genesis, this is the king, baby. And I mean, you pop this game in, and the capacitors, they're popping. The CPU is smoking. Amazingly, this game can slow down the Sega Genesis
processor. This is 16-bit shooter. This is a gourmet 16-bit shooter. This is it's top of the line for 16-bit sprite-based shooters. Absolutely incredible. I have to hand it to Lightning Force. I mean, I remember on the Sega Saturn getting Thunder Force 5, which was a great game. But I mean, it's polygons, so I mean, it's polygons. I mean, it still looks beautiful today. I'm looking at the back of the box. Wow. It's a beautiful copy of the game. Look at this. Complete. There we go. Manual game. Wow. Very nice, Trevor. Wow. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. We got another game here. I haven't seen it yet. It's in a case. Nintendo game. We got okay. Very nice. We don't have this yet, folks. Here we go. Boy, oh boy, if it wasn't the game that started it all. Well, actually, it was Donkey Kong. All right. This is from, Black Box, right? Black Box game arcade series. Mario Brothers Arcade Classics. Jesus Christ, I remember playing Mario Brothers over my friend Todd's house on his Commodore 64. That was my first experience with Mario Brothers. And I remember finding out later on, that this game existed for the Nintendo. Long after I had been, probably well into the 16-bit era, that I found out this game was actually on the Nintendo. Classic arcade game, yeah. Wow, Trevor, thanks. Beautiful addition right there. Okay. All right, here we go. We're flying by the seat of our pants. What do we got here? Jeez, I need another sip of coffee. Package here from Tyler. Tyler from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Jesus Christ. I can see the tumbleweed already. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. You put your Nintendo games in a holster in Oklahoma. Oh boy. It's early, guys. I mean, hey. Broken Arrow. Christ almighty. What do you got here? We got a note. We got a note. Beautiful note there. Bithead 1000. Please accept the included games. I consider it an absolute privilege to contribute to the journey of the full NES collection. I'm sure you already have most of the games included, but even for cash flow toward rare games, I know every bit helps. It's been about 4 years since I stumbled into your show. I've seen every episode, and I'm always looking forward to the next. I heard about it when CJR gave you a mention and never looked back since. Wow, yeah, we owe it to CJR. He brought a lot of people over here. I'm very grateful for that. Shout out to CJR. The nostalgia, your talent for storytelling, and animosity towards sharks is what keeps me coming back. Because of you, I often find myself on the hunt when I have time on Friday or Saturday mornings, dodging sharks left and right, hoping to score. Jesus, I don't even want to know what this garage sale season brings. We're on the cusp. We're on the cusp. As soon as this weather breaks, it's going to be soon. We're at the end of March. What do they say? In like a lion, out like a lamb. It's about to start. Boy, oh boy, I can't even tell you how grateful I am to you guys. You guys pulled me through the winter time. You literally put me on your shoulders and you carried me through the winter time. And for that, I am forever grateful. You guys really, you have no idea. Sip of coffee. Sip of coffee for the viewers. Okay. Yeah. You helped me find a hobby when I really needed an outlet in life. Thanks for that. Your recent stories about your son have really been great. I am about to become a father myself. Congratulations. Any advice you might have for me? Yeah, wear a cup while you're changing his diaper. For some reason, I changed my son on the bed there, and well, he's potty trained now, which I thought was going to be such a great thing. I got news for you. Everybody says diapers. You know, it's like such a pain. Diapers aren't that expensive. You go to Costco, you buy a huge whopping thing of diapers. It's not a big deal. And the other thing is, now that he's potty trained, it's a bigger pain in the ass. Because now at night, Dada, I gotta go pee-pee. Dada, I gotta go pee-pee. I gotta get out of bed. I gotta take him in the bathroom. I'm like, what is this kid got, an enlarged prostate already? He's going to the bathroom like 3 times at night. All right. How do you balance your family, passion for games, and work at the same time? You don't. There is no goddamn balance. You fly by the seat of your pants. I know it's not easy. That's for all you endure to give us the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. And you better believe that. With a 4K face! Right, Charlie? Okay. As long as you produce episodes, I'll be watching, and you better believe that. A fan for life. Wow. Tyler, thank you for that. Nice letter. Nice letter. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow, this is exciting. This is exciting. You ready for this? Robocop. Data East game right there. Oh my God, I think of Robocop. What were the famous lines? You know what? Clarence. That was the bad guy. Clarence Bodiger, you're coming with me. What was some of the Clarence's famous lines? Oh yeah, state of the art, bang bang. I love that guy. Oh, when he takes his fingers and dips them in the wine. I heard this was a part that the director was embarrassed. Paul Verhoeven hated this part, but I liked it for some reason. He takes his fingers and he sticks it in the wine glass, and he pours wine for him and some other guy he's going to cut a deal with, and he sticks his fingers in the guy's wine glass and he smells the wine. And then the guys pull these guns out on him, and he's like, "Ooh, guns, guns, guns." Clarence Bodiger. That guy was like the best bet. Oh, when they haul him into the police station and he spits on like the dossier on the policeman's desk, and he's like, "Just give me my fucking phone call." Or at the end when he walks into the big man's office and he talks to the secretary. And he's like, tell him Clarence is here. And he takes his gum out of his mouth and he sticks it right on her little name tag on the desk. Bitches out. Was that Clarence? I don't know. All right, listen. Robocop. Oh, whoa. Look at this. Oh, here we go. A wisdom tree game. Look at this. Oh, how much fun. How much fun. Bible Adventures. Wow. Oh, how cool. Look at the cartridge. Here we go. Copyright 1973, 1978, 1984. International Bible Society. Ah, so interesting. Here we go. Look at that. You got Noah's Ark on the cover, busting through the white water there. David and Goliath. Moses. Are you kidding me? Oh, wow. Here's a game. I think I talked about this before. Silent Service. Yeah, Silent Service. Bought it for $19.99 from KB Toy Store. Yep. Not a great game. Not a bad game. Kind of a boring game. You really got to get yourself lost in this one, you know. This was right on the heels of the Hunt for Red October. You know, I really thought I was in a submarine. It had this great screen where you saw the whole command room with kind of nice graphics for the time. You saw the whole command room. You could pick where you wanted to go. You could look through the periscope. You could go check the sonar. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one that enjoyed Silent Service. Oh, here we go. Really nice copy of Rad Racer. Look at that. I love that on the cover. He's doing 209 miles an hour in traffic, by the way. Yeah. Because everybody else is doing 209 miles an hour. So one of my pet peeves on a racing game is when they have the speed in kilometers per hour. Huh? Give it to me in miles per hour. Kilometers per hour. It's ridiculous. Here we go. All right. This is a nice copy. Wow. Listen, you got to understand something. I mean, never mind doubles. You know, in the last batch of games that we got off of Craigslist, I think we had something like 28 doubles. But what I went and did is I rifled through the entire collection and I sifted out and I picked label upgrades. So that's part of the value of the doubles too, for label upgrades. And I mean, here's a beautiful copy of Mag Max. I know it's better than the copy that we have. FCI shooter. Here we go. It's Sesame Street 1, 2, 3. You want an education, you stay in school. The only thing a video game ever taught me is how much I hate education. Welcome to the video game guillotine. Today we teach you how to count. 1,
2.
Yeah. Wow. Here we go. Milton Bradley strikes again. And this is California Games. California Games is a great game. I think I played it for the Nintendo when I was a kid, but I don't remember it. California Games I used to play on the Atari Lynx. Surfing, BMX. I told you how legendary I am at BMX for the Atari Lynx. Fantastic game. Hacky sack. Nobody's playing hacky sack. Wow. Oh. Warning, you will be charged if the instruction booklet is not returned. Wow. They weren't taking any shit in that video store, huh? Stick that baby right on the label. By the way, just recently, I took off a label like this, like one of these paper labels. I used a heat gun, and boy, did that work great. You got to be careful, because this has almost like a plastic lamination on the sticker here. You can melt, but you give that a little bit of heat, and that comes right off. A little tip from Bithead 1000. A sip of coffee for that tip. Right, Charlie? And here we go. Top Gun. And finally, here we go. Acclaim in the house. I don't think we have this, amazingly enough. Here we go. Wow. Here we go. This is Tiger Heli Tato. This is a good little basic overhead shooter right here. Tiger Heli. Solid game. Common game. But a solid shooter. I don't think there's anybody on planet Earth that ever owned a Nintendo that didn't play Tiger Heli. At one point, this was like an intermission game. This was like you're playing, Metal Gear for hours on end, and you need a break. You pop on Tiger Heli. You're playing Legend of Zelda for hours on end, and then you put in a little Tiger Heli to break up the monotony. Or Heavy Barrel was good for that too. Wow. Here we go. Tyler, what are you going to do? Here we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that is cool. I'm really excited about that Bible Adventures. That's neat. By the way, where did you buy Bible Adventures anyhow? Did anybody see that in the store? I don't know. All right, guys. Let's get these games. Whoa. Let's get these games on the game shelf.